Slum, have you seen Baldur's Gate 3 at all?
If you haven't played it, I don't believe so.
I did play it. I was able to play it briefly on launch day, but
Okay.
unfortunately with the timing and then Dark and Darker, which is my baby. That coming out, I just all kind of everything else falls to the wayside. So,
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3 is like a do you remember the game Divinity Original Sin 2?
Yes.
It was like it's an RPG, everyone controls a
Yeah.
character. It's turn-based combat, and you go through a story and you meet NPCs, etc. It's just like that.
Okay.
That's the concept. Everything is based on Dungeons and Dragons, and you end up with uh, same character sheets and dice roll and the whole bit, right? But it's all built in to this world that is created for you, this like baseline story, and you just are playing through it with your character, which obviously allows for an insane amount of variance and replayability and a lot of choices to be made. Every single conversation you're picking and choosing, and not shaping the world around you. So it's a pretty incredible experience. The real selling point is the depth, I think. Like, people have put in hundreds of hours and they're maybe like a third of the way through the game.
Wow.
Like, it's insane. Like, people are no lifing this game and they're just like not even making a dent into, it's wild. It's awesome. It's one of those things where I feel like to really, give it justice in a stream format, you just have to be playing it for like at least a month. You have to dedicate like at least a month to it. It's wild.
Holy crap.
Yeah. And then again, it's like up to 4-player co-op.
So
So pretty cool.
why this game was rated PC game of all time, the highest rated PC game of all time?
Correct.
Is this a newish release?
It's not
Yes.
even a month old. It's like a couple weeks old, I think.
Couple
Holy
weeks.
crap. What does this article say? How did they rate it? Like, where does the rating come from?
Let me get the
Because that is
exact.
absolutely amazing. The hype is absolutely, and not just hype. Like, if you're getting real reviews and they're saying it's the highest rated PC game of all time already, that is a massive, massive feat. That's beautiful.
So it
Yeah.
received a 97 overall rating on Metacritic.
Oh my gosh. What do you think about
Yeah.
that?
So Metacritic basically weighs ratings from a bunch of different places. Like, you have to keep in mind that the game came out technically 3 years ago as an early access, and you could play through Act One. There are multiple acts in the game, so you weren't able to discover everything. Like, there was just a small sliver of content available for the last 3 years, but it's given them a lot of time to polish it and get it to the point where I just think it's very timely in the sense where it's this game that is complete, absolutely feature complete, relatively polished, and allows you to just completely immerse yourself without microtransactions, a monthly subscription, etc. Like, these things that have been pretty massive turnoffs in the world of gaming for quite some time. It is a one-time purchase. You have it, you play it. It's very simple. And I think that in today's like landscape of the gaming industry, that's really appreciated. And like I said, people are going to pay the price for this game. I don't know what it was 3 years ago when you could buy it. It was slightly cheaper than it is now for full release. But either way, regardless, I think it was like at most like a $60 game that you are getting, like I said, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours
Wow.
out of,
That's
if you so choose.
that's GTA price tag right there.
It's funny you say that because GTA does sit on this at number 4 on this list. GTA
Holy
5.
cow. What's the
So there's
rest
some
of the
pretty
list?
big hitter titles on the top 10 here. Yeah, it's Disco Elysium is number 2, which I have not played, but it is an RPG as well.
Okay.
Then you have Half-Life 2, which you're well familiar with. Grand Theft Auto 5,
4.
The Orange Box. I'm sorry.
I'm lower on the list, sorry.
Oh, GTA 5. Yeah.
GTA 5, yeah.
Yep. Then The Orange Box, which was Team Fortress, right? Isn't that right, Abe? That was like
I believe
combo
believe
box
that's
that
the
came.
combo of
Yeah.
Half-Life 2, CS:GO,
Mm.
and TF2.
Okay.
Or is it original TF? I can't remember if it's original TF2.
Yeah. And then Half-Life 1, followed by BioShock 1, which is one of my favorite universes of all time. Definitely some of my favorite games. Baldur's Gate 2, which is awesome. Like their, you know, the previous iteration still is 8 on the list after all this time. Persona 5 and then Portal 2.
Portal, oh dude. Me and Stone
good.
love Portal 2. We haven't played in quite some time, but
banger.
Great game.
Tell you about the time I played Portal 2 with Stoned?
No, tell me.
Now, our friend Stoned guitarist, his name is Stoned for a reason. We get into game. He asked if I want to play Portal 2. We're like looking for something to play. He says, this is a banger, I promise. So I buy it and just boot it up with him, right? It's this puzzle game for those of you guys that don't know. And you go basically level by level, and it teaches you more tech every single level. It kind of builds upon itself iteratively, right? And so he says, all right, we load in. There's like this weird lobby. He says, come over here. This is where the game starts. We dive in, and we start working on the first level. It's like, damn, dude, they really make you think. Okay, like I didn't think it was going to be that challenging, right? And so we do that level, we go to the next, but it's like, it's taken us like 20, 30 minutes a pop to like break this down, figure it out. I was like, okay, this is cool, man. Like I really thought that, I feel like they're just throwing you into the deep end. And so we've played for a couple of hours and we go back out into the lobby. I actually think one of our game crashes. So we meet in the lobby again, and I'm looking at this lobby and I start to explore, and it's like, we're in the like challenge run room, completely separate. That's immediately where he led us without playing through the normal level progression. Like it's right here. And we go into the normal level progression, and I'm like, dude,
did he do that on purpose?
Oh, they actually no, he didn't do it on purpose. Like, oh shit, my bad.
I think
that's no idea.
I think that's a win right there, to be honest.
You know, it was a unique first experience for Portal 2. Probably not a whole lot of people ended up playing the game that way.
You must have crushed those first few levels.
Well, we didn't even play it because it was like, well, this is dumb now. Like, yeah, right. I know what I'm doing.
It's baby mode now.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like, yeah, we ended up, we were swinging with like 4 bats on the on deck circle. It was rough, man. It was something. So,
oh man.
Yeah, get up to the plate and playing T-ball. Just kind of ruin the experience.
I got a question about GTA. Is that an RPG?
Technically.
Okay. So we have here as 3 people that have delved into
very story based.
Okay. As 3 people who have delved into real D&D. What is just so dang fun about the original RPG? I have my answer, but I want to hear yours.
I think for me, the thing that captures me as someone who I've never done like a campaign with IRL friends, but that concept is incredibly, I instantly understand why that's a wonderful time. I think in today's modern world, we don't spend enough time in person with like people around us and have that like real life camaraderie. And I think it's like such an awesome platform for that specifically, even for people who just do like weekly tabletop nights with their friends and stuff, like to be able to get together, have a drink, eat some snacks, hang out. It really is like a wonderful storytelling. It's a process that's like collaborative. You can be as goofy or as serious as you want to be. Not to mention, like, you know, I think high fantasy is something that most people can, you know, reap some sort of value out of, right? As an IP in general. Yeah, I think that's a very unique experience. And once you figure out like what D&D brings to the table, it's very easy to get addicted to that and really look forward to those meetings. You know, I wish I had that group here where we live. I don't know enough nerds in my area. Maybe I need to click on some of those, you know, nerds in your area ads on the internet. But I I think that it ultimately comes down to the people, right? And just everyone having their own little control over the story. Do you know what I mean? It's like everyone gets to contribute, and that's something special.
100%. I think you made a lot of good points, but for me, and you kind of touched on
Mm,
it, I think I can speak personally why I'm all about games like that. If you've ever popped by Markstrom stream, I also have many faces. Like Markstrom has tons of faces in his stream. And then if I ever make appearances, I also have many faces. I'm like acting as Slick the auctioneer. And I'm
mm,
this Western guy with a Western twang. And I just love getting immersed in a different character. I love being creative, just
mhm.
going all out, just no limits. You could be a total different person. They could be wacky, they could be serious, they could be old, they could be young. And that part of it is just so fun. And just to tap into something and not even be in reality for a little while. And you whatever type of person you want to be, it's always better if you really lean into it and just go all out. Like you have fun, and then if you're really going all out and if you're really leaning into it, the whole crew is having fun because that now you're really that person.
I
They
think
they can get into it as well.
I think because of that, uh, people end up surprising themselves
And what do you
and
mean?
surprising each other. Like they end up finding it a lot easier. I think most people find some sort of improvisation to be a little daunting or something that they have anxiety about. But once you're in it and like the DM starts creating this like world around you and like you're all in like in your own heads, like creating that picture, that backdrop for the table, and everyone's like there in their mind, it becomes like so much easier and less daunting and less anxiety ridden. And you're just those characters. You're like you know what you're capable of doing. And yeah, man, it's an experience, and it's one that I would highly recommend. And it's honestly,
Mhm.
there's never been like a better time to do it. Because of COVID specifically, there's tons and tons of online tools that were innovated. I know like a bunch of D&D groups that like honestly took off and were more consistent because of these tools that were created so that, that when people couldn't be with each other in person, it made it a little bit easier to be consistent, right? Because like that's the dream, and I think that ends up being the death of a lot of groups. Is
Mhm.
can we meet on this day
Yeah.
of the week consistently? And
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 it's a solid chunk of time too.
yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
a good session definitely takes some time. Now, on top of that, like you have to throw in bullshit time at the beginning. You have
Yep.
to throw in like snacking time.
Yeah.
New round of drinks time. It's a
Yeah.
whole.
Yeah.
It's an experience. It's an evening. So.
You know,
I'll say this
go
too.
ahead.
Like, I agree with everything both of you said. First of all, that's probably the two main reasons I enjoy it. Also, I actually joined. I play a weekly game. I joined the group with knowing only one of the people in the group,
Mm.
and I would consider them all kind of friends at this point. Like
Mhm.
we become friends through the game. Shout out to the storied few,
Mm.
if they're listening. But I also think that in addition to all of that, like the funny part to me is how immersed you can get in a story. Also, DMs and the dungeon master in that role, especially good ones, so hard to do, so time consuming, and wow, can they really make a difference
They make
in
all
R.I.P.
the
the
Wingy.
difference,
experience?
dude.
And like, there's all this cool stuff you can do combat wise, and all these abilities and skills and character building from like a pure numbers and stat perspective. but like the best nights in our games are like we go to a bar and we like, you know, we're messing around in the bar. There's like a fight pit. We're rigging matches and stuff like that and betting and doing all these different things that like we don't even get into combat half the time.
Right.
And we've had a blast and we've just been hanging out all those nights. So it's that combination of like the camaraderie between people and the story driven elements. And especially if you can wrap that up with someone who really knows how to run a game, it's an experience that I have not found in any other form of gaming.
I'll tell you what, you guys probably clean up at the bar, huh? When you go there and play Dungeons and Dragons.
No, the bar in the game.
The bar in the universe of the.
Oh yeah, see, that's as little as I know about it. You know what else though? This is actually in life, like in a lot of stuff. I've noticed. I've always leaned into like the weird stuff, and like I don't care if I look like a weirdo or a fool doing this stuff. I just love doing that stuff, like the stuff I do on stream. Like I enjoy that. And to some outsiders, that might be like, what the frig is that guy doing?
Right.
When you do that and when you're confident in it and when you're having fun, you also unlock that in other people. If you're playing with other people, if you don't care that you look stupid, if you're having a good time, if you're going all out, they're gonna get into it, dude. And that's the best part. And that, like I said, that's like everywhere. So if we're doing a photo shoot, I've always. It's like I even push it further. Like when I'm telling a model to like do a certain pose, like I'll even like, yeah, do like this. And I'll get real into it and show her like, oh, look, it's just, I'm doing it. Like, I don't care. Right. It's not, that makes people feel comfortable. If you're willing to do it, if you think it's fine, if you think it's normal, if you're having a good time, they're also doing the same thing.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, I can attest to this, especially when we do like product shoots and stuff for sponsors in the past. You definitely, because I am definitely more reserved in person, and you do a really good job of like getting me to do what needs to be done for the shoot. So it's something that I definitely appreciate.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you got it, dude.
Appreciate that.
I think it's something that I'm a lot better with these days.
Yeah, you crush it.
I think I definitely don't care what anyone thinks at this point in my life, which is it's a very freeing thought. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's nice. But I don't think I definitely wasn't that way, you know, when we first started doing this stuff, that's for sure. And I think honestly, like being on stream also like from 8 years ago, like when I go back and I look at things, I can just like tell that like I can see myself thinking what other people are thinking. You know? And it's so cringy, but you know, like it's a process. You have to like, the only way to work past that as a person is to put in the time and put in the reps, you know. And now, I mean, shit, man. I mean, you can catch footage of me with a bowl cut, with frosted tips.
You almost gouged your eye out. You almost gouged your eye out when you were cutting your hair. That clip of you just like, ding. Like, yeah, geez, I mean, dude, crazy.
You gotta try. You know, you gotta get in there, bro. Oh my
god, looking like Simple Jack. Anyway, we talked about Baldur's Gate a little bit.
Yeah,
I think we have a clip here. Abe, would you mind pulling this clip up?
So I had to share this one because this was very funny. Baldur's Gate, in addition to all the story-driven elements and all the, you know, complete gameplay, everything that we've touched on so far, they also have a very advanced physics system in there where things like weight, size, momentum really matter. So what people have found is that you can, if you like drop something onto someone, for example, the weight of the object and the distance it traveled impacts how much damage it'll do. So what you'll see in this clip is people, and they've dubbed this the Owlbear from the top rope. What they're doing is they're summoning an owlbear, increasing its size, and then literally just launching it onto enemies and instantly killing some of the hardest monsters in the entire game.
Pull the different one. Yeah, here we go. All right, so he just go back to like
they're building stacks.
Oh my god,
it's just going through. They're building stacks.
So he's getting bigger. It's like this big bear getting gigantic, and he jumps all the way to one shot, and he jumps like many stories high, all the way to do damage on an attack. And that was a wrestling move. All the way off the top rope to do a one-shot damage to an enemy. And I'm guessing a normal attack like that without jumping from that height wouldn't one shot those enemies.
Or the size of the owlbear itself. Like that's
oh yeah, he
it's
doubled
taken
that
all
size.
these things into account.
That's crazy.
So as
So
a
now-
result, we see 821 bludgeoning damage, which is absurd when health pools, like a player health pools are like around like 20 to 30 ish.
Holy cow.
I think I crit something for 14 once with my highest damage character so far in my campaign.
Yeah.
Dude, I love this, dude. I love when players think outside the box. There was this, I think it was Red Dead. The girl was like holding up a sign or something, and a guy lassoed her, drug her by horse, drug her through the town, and then threw her in an alligator pit, and the alligator ate her. It's like they realize what you can do in the game, and then they just let their imagination.
Time to push the limits.
Dude, that's so interesting. And I bet you a lot of people who created that game probably thought about stuff like that. But some things probably happen, and they're like, "Oh my god, I didn't even think about that when we were making it. I didn't even think that."
I mean, that's the
someone would
beauty
do
of
that."
some bugs too. I mean, especially in anything that's early access, is like figuring out different ways people can somewhat break the game, you know. But sometimes it happens in like what I would consider the best way possible.
Yeah,
right?
like
It's like in Dark and Darker, they have a bard, right? It's a new class, and they give the bard a drum.
Okay.
Now, the bard plays the drum as intended and does a set of buffs and debuffs and whatever with it, right? And so, if you're not a bard, you can still loot a drum, and when you have a drum, you can left click throw the drum, and the drum does damage when you throw it.
Okay.
So people are making characters built specifically to carry 12 plus drums on them at all times. And that's their only attack. They're just launching drums at people. And they throw it, it hits the person. They get out another, they throw it, it hits the person. They can go over to the person, pick 2 up, put them back in the inventory, back in the rotation.
Do they explode?
They don't. No, they can just keep
unlimited
throwing them at people. And so there's like these like mosh pit videos of people jumping around throwing drums at each other. And it's like, is that it, like, you know, is it intended? Is it, you know, is it intended to be as strong as it is? Probably not. Is it incredibly funny and great content and making great clips and making like people want to play the game more? Hell yeah, it is. So it's very neat when people, you know, it's figuring out ways to theory craft and innovate different ways to play the game, you know, and it can end up basically making some of the best content.
Love that.
And so as a teaser and a small plug, I've created 3 new characters on my Dark and Darker account, and they will all be played in very specific, niche, nuanced ways that I think will be very good for content.
Does one of them have 12 item slots?
One is a barbarian with only drums, and I'm running something called Achilles Heel, I think is the ability. So I pop it, and when I hit somebody with an item, whatever it is, when I attack a player, if they move after that attack, they take a bonus damage.
Oh,
for 2 seconds. So if I hit them with the drum and they're just running, they're continually damaging themselves.
Do you hear a drum roll when they're getting
very
damaged?
strong? It's a thud, and it is great. It is the most comedic. It's so good. So
it's so accurate. I think they might have thrown a drum at someone to record the sound.
Yeah, it's wild.
What is it, like a tom? What kind of drum is it?
It's like a bongo more so.
Okay.
It's got like the canvas top.
Okay.
Think like a medieval drum.
Yeah, like the one that Adam Sandler's banging on in Hot Chicks. Oh, I'm sorry.
Smaller, but
I didn't know you could hear that.
Yeah.
Why'd you quit playing those drums? Freaking classic, dude. I've been on an Adam Sandler binge for a while.
He's the best, bro.
Oh gosh. So I think that's one of the best things for me personally about Yep, that's the Adam Sandler we're talking about.
It's very similar to this drum right
It does
here
look
on
like
the
that
left.
one right there on the side. Yeah, there's the one.
Oh
Boom.
gosh. So I think for me, that is one of the best parts about video game is those little things that you find. So back in the day, this was GTA 3 or 4. There was a swing set in a park, and there was actually 2 of them, and they were kind of glitchy. Like they would like move around a little bit. If you got up close to them, you'd see them do a little wiggle. So we figured out if you drive your car into it and just keep it on that swing set, it'll send you in the car sky high, way over the top of the map.
Full launch.
It's awesome. So me and 3 other guys would get in the same car, and we would always yell at who's the driver, because sometimes it would take you like 3 minutes to get a launch, and we'd be like, dude, you suck, can't get it. It had nothing to do with the driver, but you get your buddies, get in the car, and we'd see who can launch you the furthest. And they didn't, and that's a glitch in the game, but it ended up being like one of the most fun things we did in that game. I love those little things. And then when we found that hidey hole in the cycle, like,
oh, there's some great hidey holes. You're just seeing underneath the map. Yeah, you're invisible. Okay. Or driving and debugging DayZ and getting launched to the moon.
Oh god, I saw you and Geo get that. I believe. And then you were coming down, and you should have crashed, but I think it bounced you off the surface of the earth. Like,
oh yeah, we caught a nice little rubber band. We're fine, bro. It's no big deal. Like, it never happened.
Oh my gosh.
Play Age of Conan, the online Conan.
Oh yeah, we played it.
Do you remember what with horses? You used to be able to have your horse like do a back kick.
No.
And knock people back if they were behind it. People used to camp bridges, and when you walked across, they would kick with their horse and kick you off the bridge and send
That's awesome.
Send you to your death.
That's great.
Awesome.
That's that's the best part about video games.
Specifically, just like playing a priest all the way to 60 in classic WoW, so that you could play Alterac Valley and then mind control people and jump them off the bridge and just insta kill them.
Savage.
Amazing.
Savage,
amazing.
Dude.
But people would literally level to 60 just for that one experience.
See, my glitch was harmless. You're
ours always incur casualties.
That's messed up, dude.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So last week we touched on something quite interesting: human exploration in space. It's inevitable that when we think about space, we think about its other potential inhabitants, aliens. It says here, this past year, we've seen aliens.
You got to do the hands. If you don't do the hands, it doesn't
totally
count.
Forgot about that guy. It says here, this past year has seen the release of dozens of bits of classified information and documents from our own government about potential UFO. I believe they're called something else now for some stupid reason. UFO sightings and other alien-related information, but have there long been signs of potential life forms visiting the old Earth? So I guess we're seeing a bunch of UFO sightings right now.
Less so that I think it's a hot button topic specifically because of the declassification of the information.
Okay.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff in Congress where like certain documents were due to be declassified, and so I don't know. This is a hard one for me because I'm not willing to go through it myself. But also, I have the feeling that if something was like particularly titillating in there, it would be at the forefront of every ounce of news as a result, right? And I don't know. I'm not seeing it myself. But it doesn't mean that I'm a non-believer.
Okay. So
I'm more of a doubter.
Okay. So yeah, I understand what you're saying. So before I tell you what I think, what if you're not a non-believer?
Yeah.
What do you think the extent is out there right now and their participation on Earth?
Yeah, I think it's twofold, right? So I think the universe and the very concept of it, as well as the concept of time, is too vast and extensive for there not to be something else out there.
Okay.
However, because of the length of time and what we are on, like, or like even just the existence of humans on Earth and that tiny sliver of like this vast timeline, I think the likelihood of our civilization and something else out there coexisting in that exact same sliver and being able to contact one another, technologically speaking, and having the same proximity to one another for that to be even remotely possible within the vastness of space, basically, to me, makes it highly the odds of us having some sort of interaction basically non-existent, which I understand does feel like the party pooper stance, but I do think that there's a level of scale here that a lot of people fail to or neglect to pay attention to,
Well, I mean, it's infinite, right?
in the sense that it's constantly expanding. Sure.
Yeah. So I understand what you're saying.
Mhm.
I'm of the belief that why would another, so do we go to like a chicken coop and take out a notepad and like examine them and like, oh, this is so interesting. This,
We go to the zoo.
I don't.
People do. I like going to the zoo.
That's messed up, dude. I'm gonna come at you for that.
You
Let
think
'em
I'm gonna
free.
get canceled in 20 years when like people are just completely like, we learn that like animals have way more consciousness than we ever thought. Like
It's,
the tech goes there and it's
It's-
Markstrom likes the zoo.
it's not even consciousness. For
He's
me.
a zoo goer.
I'm not gonna fight someone about it, but it's like, imagine you lived your life in a freaking,
Enclosure.
yeah. That's so
I do.
sad.
It's called this studio.
You choose to be there. Now you're definitely being
choice.
it's come now. I don't know if you can leave, but it was your
Oh,
choice.
yeah, it's cemented.
Yeah,
But I did make a choice at one
you
point.
made a choice.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen
You
the
gotta live
clips
with them.
of the whales like in their little pool? I'm just saying that can't be enjoyable, and I'm not gonna go tie myself to a
Yeah.
tree out front of an aquarium, but I don't support.
Yeah, but
those things.
SeaWorld got some messed up shit, no doubt.
Sure.
I'm specifically coming at SeaWorld on this
All
one.
right, so then maybe my argument about looking at chicken coops was flawed. However,
Right.
if a society was so advanced that they could
Eyeball us.
eyeball us, or that they could
Mm.
travel to us, and or time travel or warp speed travel or any of that, I don't know what would be so interesting about our planet that they would want to examine it. And maybe that's off base.
Well, again, I think like the odds of life existing is small because from
Really?
what we know, as far as like looking elsewhere, what we are currently capable of seeing is a chunk of space,
Sure.
right? And there is no other life. So at the very least, we know from what we've seen that we've had no observable life forms, right? So like you take that and you multiply that out times the size of the universe. Again,
Okay.
it's like maybe, right? It's definitely a chance. We exist, so there obviously is a chance. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so it's a matter of how close could it be? How advanced could their technology be? Like, how long have they existed for? Like, I think that there's this, like, I'm not going to say there is a possibility. It's not a non-possibility that they are close enough, advanced enough, and have some sort of maybe they have manipulation of time, right? With the way that they travel. And so that they can continually explore in some sort of way that is not, time dependent
Sure.
or linearly dependent.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, like, so I guess my point is that when you say how interesting are we, to me, another life is like another life. You know what I mean? Some sort of like existing life form is still would have to be unique enough in that sense to where they would be interested, kind of by default.
maybe because
Is there a bunch of are there a bunch of planets that they are visiting that have some sort of life form? Maybe too.
Exactly.
But
So
I think that's way less likely though.
If
That's
they
even
can visit
more
us,
of a non-factor.
if
You
they
know what
can
I mean?
visit us, they could most likely visit other life form, other planets, other
Maybe.
galaxies. So, but also maybe we're up there. You know what I mean? Maybe humans on Earth are like.
You think that other planet has plugged podcasts, bro? No shot,
true.
man.
That's true.
No shot.
They ain't
Little
playing Dark and
MSTV. They ain't got Dark and Darker, bro. They're not living in the golden era of gaming, bro. They don't got Baldur's Gate 3.
I don't know, dude. Maybe there's an alternate universe where you're tall and don't need glasses.
Just strays, just catching strays.
Just don't think that's
Got it. All right.
I'd like the record to show I'm officiating this guy's wedding this week. So the possibility for sabotage is just endless. Really.
Jesus. All
You
right.
better
So
chill on the strays.
all right, stop getting off topic over there, dude.
Yeah,
So
that was
what,
me. Yeah,
what I'm
you're right.
saying is, it's very interesting. But I'd like to say a comment about documents. This is without getting political.
Right.
Every government does this, whether they're blue, whether they're red. If something it seems like every time there's a lot of these types of documents, say it's this or JFK or weapons of mass destruction, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like release some of these and maybe we'll hide some of that. So
yeah, I mean, the level of transparency is always like well within question.
Yes.
Right. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But then also on top of that, is there a level of subterfuge? Is something happening? And they're like, all right, we're going to declassify these documents, give people something to talk about, so they're not paying attention over here.
that's what I'm saying.
Never know.
You
You just never know.
You do 10 years later.
Sometimes you find out.
Yeah.
Sometimes you find out.
So
Sometimes those documents get declassified.
It's just so unfortunate that stuff like this should be like, holy cow.
And I think that's ultimately what gets me to like not care all that much.
I know.
Which is just it kind of ruins the fun.
I know.
Thinking that way definitely ruins the fun. Which is
That's
why
just you.
people who are less analytical just enjoy life more, man.
You know,
And honestly,
man,
Yep,
I envy
I
the
hear ya.
simple-minded people.
yeah. The Chucks of the world just living their best life, bro.
Dude, I was telling Trish the other day, we were looking at this couple, and I was like, you know, sometimes I wish I was ugly. For real. No, like for real. Because
Man.
you enjoy
You ain't
like
gotta wish that hard. Relax.
they were so happy over
Yeah.
I don't even know what they were happy about. And I was just looking at them, and I'm very happy in my relationship too. But like before I met Trish, I'd look at that couple and I'd be like, man, maybe I should smack myself in the face with a frying pan a couple times. Because it's just
Jesus.
no, for
man.
real though. You can
Okay, I'm listening.
there's other things that you aren't burdened with because you know that the people you're surrounding yourself with are there for you. You're butt ugly. This guy's staying around for some reason. It's definitely not because he's superficial.
Do you think the disadvantage of being attractive outweighs the advantages of being attractive in life?
I don't know. I like to fight from behind, dude. I'm all right with it.
I think that's a pretty hot take, to be fair. I think that might be a hot take. I listen, man, you live your truth.
What do you think?
I didn't know life was so difficult over there.
What do you think if there was? So let's just we'll wrap up this alien segment with a nice little ribbon. If there was something out there that existed, what do you think they look like?
Would they find you attractive? You think they're saying the same thing about you with the frying pan? Maybe.
Man, life would be
maybe.
so much easier if we looked like this scumbag.
Look at this guy looks. Let's put him in a cage and
Oh my God, they're gonna probe me. That's messed up.
Oh, you're definitely getting probed.
That's messed up. No, but for real, what if there was some type of extraterrestrial?
Yeah.
Extraterrestrial.
I like the concept that I think gets perpetuated, and I think it's perpetuated for good reason. Is as at least as humans have evolved, because all we can do is go off of what we have for knowledge, right? So as humans has evolved, we have gotten increasingly softer as people
Yep.
and gotten increasingly larger heads.
Yeah.
As our brain gets bigger, as we as technology advances, and if people are coming to us and they are super tech advanced, right? To me, that means whatever their central nervous system is has to be enlarged, you know, whether that's in their heads or maybe in their asses. I don't know. But that part of them is going to be big.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. That's best case scenario.
But then you got to protect it. That's like someone stabbing you in the spine. Right now in this body, I'll take a knife to the ass.
That's true.
Yeah, not in that body.
All right.
All right. So are you saying
So you're down for probing?
Are you? Are you saying?
I'm just asking.
The big, tall, lanky, big heads.
Yeah, it's like very soft bodies. They got a belly on them.
Wait, they got a
kind of
belly?
lanky limbs. Sometimes, like Roger from American Dad.
That's because he's an alcoholic.
Maybe listen.
Maybe
Maybe that's the way forward. Maybe that's. Ever hear the stoned ape theory? We took a bunch of drugs and that provided neurogenesis. We ate a bunch of mushrooms and that provided the neurogenesis to continue to increase.
I have heard of that. We should get a hippie on here and talk about aliens too. I think I know the guy.
We should get a flat earther too while we're out there.
I don't think I'd have fun with a flat earther, dude.
Oh, you got to watch more YouTube videos. They're amazing.
I'll be.
It's like going to the zoo.
I don't go to the zoos.
I'm just saying, it's a good time.
All right, so if then here's one caveat.
All right,
you know what those aliens don't have?
What don't they have?
Genitalia.
You don't think? You think they're asexually budding?
Well, I mean,
how they reproduce?
I don't know. We can't comprehend it. Maybe they could. Well, actually,
I think they're just tubing each other.
Let's just say, all right. So you brought up our evolution, and then you were kind of like, so they'd have to be even further in our evolution.
Yeah.
So right now, I believe, they can grow like pigs and goats in bags.
Sure.
So humans probably not too far off.
Some matrixy pods.
Probably. And then, and then the genitalia thing that you can connect the dots and go further. But I think every type of alien I've seen like that in any show, in any movie, whatever, long, lanky, no junk, and a big head.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why they maybe it is because of the tubes. Because you know how when you bake like a cupcake or a muffin, like the middle fills up and it's thinner and then it's got the big top. So they got the big head. That's when they know they're done. They spill out over the outside of the tube and then it's just a little body inside of it.
I don't think so, dude. I think that's where the brain is, Abe.
I'm following. He's onto something. He's definitely onto something.
That's thought we just said the brain was in their asses.
They start to bake over. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was a little too done. Look how big that head is.
Jeez. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've figured out
for thought
where we were with aliens. All right. So they don't want anything from us.
Oh, Abe's got one more thing for aliens.
What do you got?
There's one little tidbit of information in there.
Okay.
And I think it's interesting that we may already be amongst aliens.
Oh, okay. What do you got?
Because there's a lot of speculation in the scientific community that octopus are actually an alien creature because of how unlike in their DNA structure and some of the other things they have.
Camouflage?
Any other organism. Yeah, exactly. The camouflage is a big one of them. They also have, according to the article, it's probably in the notes, but I think their DNA has 33,000 more. What's the word? Because I'm not a scientist. Their DNA has 33,000 more protein coding genes than is present in Homo sapiens.
Oh, dude, I need that DNA.
They have insane DNA.
I don't think it works like anabolic slump.
They also, do they have bones?
They do. I don't believe they have bones.
Dude, they could fit into a freaking mason jar.
Yeah.
I would love to.
They're incredibly smart, beyond comprehension of other organisms like them.
I would go to that zoo.
They came off a meteorite.
Don't we know what the origin of a cephalopod is? If they're classified,
okay,
all the way down to genus and species, right? I think their family is cephalopod.
Okay.
I think then wouldn't we understand their etymology of sorts?
I mean, I don't know about understand. I just look at something that's. I
they're
can't tell you how that stuff really is, but if it's reputable and if it's verified, I'll most likely believe it. But I really don't know that stuff unless you examine it. And how the heck can you examine that stuff? What do you got there?
It says growing evidence demonstrates that modern cephalopods originated from straight-shelled orthocerids in the late Silurian 416 MA. I don't know what any of that part means, but the putative this is sound like Chuck up here.
All right, just click on one of the things that it originated from.
Like over here?
Yeah, that looks like there's some shelled thing. Oh no, there's just octopus. Dude,
it's the same
octopi? Octopuses?
Octopi is the plural.
Octopi are crazy.
I think you can say octopuses also.
Octopuses are crazy, dude.
Mm.
I've seen the camouflage. I've seen them squeeze into tight areas. Imagine the capability if you had that capability. What would you do if you get camouflage? First thing, Markstrom.
Camouflage?
Like good, like almost be invisible.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So the
possibilities are endless.
Oh, first thing.
I think when the grass starts getting long and Alexander's looking for me to mow, I might, you know what I'm saying? Just pop that bad boy on, bada bing, bada boom. You know, let it ride for a couple of weeks. You said first thing.
Okay. All right. That's wonderful. Abe, how about you?
Maybe rob a bank. I don't know. That seems like it could be pretty profitable.
Well, all right. So if you rob the bank, you can't necessarily move and continue your.
Oh, you're right.
So what's you'd have to do like a man on the inside type thing.
Yeah. Oh man.
Probably you blend in with
Darker has taught me a brand new strat.
Okay.
So if you don't level up your rogue, right? If you have a low level rogue, you don't get all the skill perks. One of the skill perks allows you to move while invisible. However, when you're level 1 and you want to run pickpocket, you can't run that also until you level up and get a new slot to put that in.
Okay.
So if you only have pickpocket and you can't move while you're stealth, the strategy is to sit in a doorway, because someone's going to come to that doorway and not be able to figure out why they can't get through. Meanwhile, you get to pickpocket them, right? And eventually they'll turn around, go the other way, and you have their stuff.
Do they
bada
know?
Bing, bada boom. Some people know. Some
no, I mean, do you know that you're getting pickpocketed?
No.
Dude.
Unless you're paying attention to your inventory the whole time, which people aren't holding tab while they're walking around.
How quick is the process of pickpocketing?
Thunk. Thunk.
That's it?
Next item.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Thunk.
It's
So
pretty
it's
pretty quick.
Basically, they're just like, why can't I get through this door? And they try for about 3 seconds and then give up, and you've already ganked.
I've already ganked at least 3 items. Yeah.
Well, also, in this scenario, Slum, are we? If the items you steal go inside your body, let's say you eat them or
yeah, I get it. Yeah, yes, I'm okay with that
picture.
Stipulation.
Then
yes.
you can get it. So I mean, if you can boof enough gold bullion from the bank or something like that, you're getting out of there.
No,
right?
How do you get out? You have to stay still. So I guess you would.
Oh, you got to stay still.
Yes.
Okay. This is
because you can't. You can move and then recamouflage.
Doorway strat, baby.
But like, so if you camouflage on security deposit boxes, and then the guy turns around, and then you like run like 10, and then you're a doorway, and then you run like 10, and then you're something else. I'm okay with that, but it'd probably be more difficult than you think it is.
Could you like just stand in front of the ATM and like as the money comes out for people, you're just there to just eat it right
That's
away?
messed up, dude. You're robbing the people instead of the bank.
That's true. That's true.
This is genius. You just see their pin, and then you get really good at pickpocketing. You just yoink their wallet, but you were still standing there camouflage, grab their pin, you go up, bada bing, bada boom.
You know what? Even though robbing a bank is inevitably robbing the people, it just takes a little longer. I'm not okay with robbing individuals, all right?
Not a victimless crime, I'll tell you that much.
It's definitely not.
I'm just spitballing here. You're the one that put us on the spot.
What else do you do with invisibility that isn't way creepier? I mean, there's lots of creepy stuff with invisibility.
Yes, I was going to say witness things possibility, but...
We didn't give you any weird answers.
Yeah, don't make it weird, dude.
Yeah, we're doing great.
Like, what is it? Is it Clay Aiken that's got the invisible song? Like, that's weird. Right? I think he says.
I think you're probably going to have to elaborate on that one now.
the song, I believe it's called "Invisible" by Clay Aiken.
Okay.
Don't ask me why I know this song.
All right,
But
well, give us the lyrics. Let's
I
interpret.
think it's if I was invisible, I would just watch you in your room.
All right.
I'm 99%.
Let's end on verifying that. Verify that, and
Yeah,
then
we should definitely check if that's the case.
then I'll
we
make
should
fun of you
verify
for
that,
knowing.
and I have another picture for everybody. Too,
Okay.
that we can share. But let
Pop
me
it on
find
up. That is an interesting song. If that is
invisible,
if that is really the lyric, that is very interesting.
Invisible by Clay Aiken.
All right, what do we
If
got?
I was invisible, then I could just watch you in your room.
If I was invisible, I'd make you mine tonight. That's rape, dude.
Yeah, this is horrifying.
That doesn't sound very consensual, does it, Clay?
That's interesting. Maybe that's
So
why
we
we
didn't go
haven't heard
there.
from him in a while.
Yeah, I actually haven't heard a whole lot about Clay Aiken these days. Maybe this
He's
is why.
invisible for sure.
And poof.
Oh man. All right, so what's the last thing you got?
All right, I stumbled across this, and I had to show this to you because I need everybody's reaction. So
Okay.
I stumbled into, for some reason, the world of British aerospace design,
Okay.
and I found their new. They call it. I'll pull it up a second. The hybrid air vehicles Airlander 10, and it's essentially like a hybrid helium aircraft, right? And
Really?
it's like a blimp.
Oh.
Here is the picture they posted of it.
Very interesting design.
Okay.
Can we enhance?
Yes.
All right, so
That's a big ass, right? I
mean, you know, the phrase "death by snoo snoo" definitely comes to mind.
classic.
these,
All right,
these,
so it's
these
a blimp.
pictures and the replies are so funny too.
Look at the horse. That's so good.
It's like, where's
Oh
These
my!
things are so funny.
Is that Kim K?
Yeah, it's the Kim K photo.
That's good.
I mean,
All right, so it's a blimp, right? I mean, it looks like an ass, but it's a blimp.
it's like a hybrid blimp. I think it has some kind of propulsion system too.
I thought we kind of got rid of the blimp after the Hindenburg.
Oh, I think we rocked them well beyond the Hindenburg.
Yeah,
Really?
the Goodyear
is still kicking, bro.
Yeah, but that's
Every
a
sporting
tiny
event.
one, is it not?
I mean, I don't know how much smaller it is than what we just saw.
Holy crap!
They're big, bro. They're tiny when they're up in the sky.
How about manned blimps? Is that a thing? Like people still rock them? They ride them?
I think there's some blimp captains.
Wasn't the Hindenburg like a luxury blimp?
Yeah,
Like a
but it was
bunch of
also
rich people
it was
on there?
also filled with hydrogen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do they fill it with? Helium?
I think it's a helium compound.
Or just
now,
hot
like,
air?
Well,
I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll figure out the helium thing or the blimp thing later, but I'm not
It
really.
is helium.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Is that
something. But what about like a Zeppelin? When was the last time Zeppelins were in commission?
Look at that. Oh my God. The Hindenburg. Insane, dude.
And is there a distinct difference between a blimp and a Zeppelin?
I think a Zeppelin's a type of blimp. Yeah.
Came to an end in 1937.
Yep.
Stopped flying
Yeah.
after the Hindenburg disaster. So there you go.
Crazy, dude.
All right, so the Zeppelins are shut down.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
a type of. I think a Zeppelin might have been like the populated blimp that you can ride. Oh God, Draco's about to pull out all of my cords.
They were used in warfare too, which was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Not the vehicle I'm trying to be in the middle of a war. in
absolutely
airspace.
not.
No.
That seems a little precarious.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys.
Good for the British, man. You know?
Yeah, they're going back and making advancements in 100-year-old technology. That's wonderful.
Hell yeah, dude. They're throwing fat asses on them.
Oh,
All
jeez.
right. Good for them.
All right. So, what do you got coming up, dude?
What do I got or what does Abe got?
What do you got? I don't give a fuck what Abe got.
Damn, dude. Okay.
That's probably true, though. I think that's probably true of most of the audience.
All right. Okay. Well, tomorrow I fly out and hopefully you're gonna pick me up from the airport
I got you.
and we're gonna get you hitched. That's a pretty good weekend coming up right there. Very exciting stuff. And then when I return home, I will be wrapping up the finishing preparation for a little MSTV subathon on the old Twitch channel. So I got about 8 weeks in my schedule free to go absolutely degenerate gamer mode 24/7, live the whole time. The stream expires when the timer runs out, and every sub adds to the timer, every donation adds to the timer. So
Will you
it's
be sleeping on stream on this one?
I will be sleeping on stream, and during the nighttime, Sean, one of the members of our community, will be taking over and doing a little gaming. But this will be an interesting thing because this is our first variety subathon. We've done some in the past, and we have some. We've definitely had some cool content, but I think this one's going to be a little different. Something that there's going to be some things on this cast that people haven't seen before, and I'm excited for that. I think it'll be a really fun time. But a lot of great releases coming up that will be featured in addition to my baby, Dark and Darker. We'll be checking out Armored Core, Lies of P, Payday 3, Deceit 2, some absolute banger titles. So feels good to see a lot of things in rotation. We'll be getting some community gameplay in, and of course, we'll be working out on stream the whole time. A lot of interesting content, playing with the dogs, making meals, hanging out. So definitely swing by, and if you'd like to add a little time to the timer, be my guest. Love to have you.
I believe subs are going to be on sale, right? Gifted subs.
No, it's also September coming up.
Yeah,
happy accident there with the
bro.
old September. Very interesting. So all brand new subs are going to be 25% off, which is pretty exciting. And then the final month or the final week of the month in September, all gifted subs are 25% off, which is a little crazy. So come by. You're an unjubbed thug. Get yourself a gifty.
Beautiful.
There's
beautiful.
a peak of the sub goals.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty good. They're very good.
Good.
You're gonna
we
love
should
the way
we
they
should
look.
probably release this before the subathon takes off. Then this could be a nice little feature before we go live.
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
dude.
and then also on top of that, during the subathon, nice little announcement. You can come catch these episodes live every Wednesday night at 5:30 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/Markstrom.
Let's go. Beautiful.
Come hang out and enjoy it in the chat.
Beautiful. And if you want to see some of the stuff I do, stop by the stream as well. You'll see a little bit of sliver of the type of work that we do over here. You can also go to our website. Our production company is licensed to shoot, and we have the domain lts.media, which I am absolutely excited about. Licensed to shoot media, lts.media. Couldn't be better.
Clean.
So check that out. And then Abe, what you got, dude?
Well, if you want to see some of the stuff that I do, come to the stream and say something stupid, and I'll ban you or time you out. But I will be hanging out there. I'm sure I'll take part in some of the community stuff. And at Aberman89 in the chat.
There it is.
Wonderful. This has been another fantastic conversation and a wonderful episode. So until next time, peace.
Deuces.